Welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Foxy I Refuse podcast. We're back again. Thought I could make it to the weekend, minding my African American business. But here y'all asses go. First and foremost, I'm from Baltimore. I think it's so hilarious how that city just never ceases to amaze me. The mayor, Brandon Scott, took to IG to announce that he and his partner, a female, are expecting a baby. And y'all decided to get down in the comment section to put this man on blast. One person said, "This motherfucker out here clapping cheeks while these motherfuckers are bleeding in the streets, focusing on the wrong shit." That's not what took me out. I mean, it made me lay flat, took me flat. That's not what took me out. I went over to Facebook to comment on a Facebook friend's post about the announcement and how y'all were in the comment section being super ghetto. I was like, I commented and said, that's not what took me out. That's not what threw me off. So, another gay friend of mine, Facebook friend of mine, who is a mutual, said, listen. I was like, I know. Clearly, we were thinking of two different things. I was thrown by the fact that the girl in question is calling herself a mompreneur. I hate it. I hate it. I really do. Like, y'all get out here and putting y'all little bylines on your little social media accounts. I'm a mompreneur. I'm a momager. I'm a mom this. Like, you put the word mom with every job title and make up some new shit. Then on top of that, you talking about you multi hyphenated, and I'm just like, here's one of those people that says they're 9 different things, and it's like, no way humanly possible can a person work 9 jobs. No possible way. But the gag was, a lot of people thought that the mayor was gay. I've never heard that prior to yesterday. And I mean, here's the thing. Gay men can have kids. Like, it could very well be possible that he could swing both ways. That's his prerogative. We out here in these streets, like, it could very well be a reality that you can be gay and have kids and date women. I could very well be possible. I remember when I was probably 2 or 3 years deep into the Air Force, right? Worked my last job in the communications squadron. And there was a tech sergeant who was the director of the audiovisual department. Older gentleman, probably in his 30s, walked with a swish, like fluttered the hands as he walked. Had a twang, had a very light voice. I didn't pay him any mind, really. Never did anything wrong to me. But some people, other gay men, thought that he was gay. And this was during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So it's like, no rainbow flags, no, like, put it out there. But if you were gay, you were in the closet. And I thought, I was like, okay, could be. I've never seen him out anywhere. And then he started bringing his family around to some of the functions. And I saw the wife and I was like, I'm human just like the rest of y'all. Clearly a beard. I, did you get this lady off a rusty nail? Um, but that's nothing new. Like, for years, men were either arranged to marry a woman or out of fear of their fathers and religion put themselves into heterosexuality, having a wife and kids out of religious guilt, religious shame, or whatever. Very much a real thing. So I don't know where he is to this day. He could very well be living his truth if that is the case. But let's not act like gay men can't have kids. I just found it funny that I was talking about something else, completely different, but I read in the comment sections what my friend was saying. I was like, oh, okay, never heard that before, but if he is, more power to him. And other people in the comment section were like, if they want to be unmarried and have kids and do whatever, that's their prerogative. And it's like, you damn right. But y'all was getting on Brandon Scott's back about Baltimore. And that alone, every 5 or so years, you'll have somebody that'll come up and always look to the mayor to fix Baltimore, which quiet as it's kept has improved in comparison to like the early 90s. Like, it was so bad in the late 80s and the early 90s that we couldn't stay outside. We couldn't play outside once the streetlights came on. And that's something like my family keeps to this day. Most of my family lives in Baltimore. And it's like, it's actually gotten better. I mean, there's more business and more commerce, and probably a little bit less crackheads and fiends. Um, there was a time that they were on every damn corner. And you don't really see the Muslims selling bean pies on North Avenue like they used to. I don't know if that's a positive, but Brandon Scott hasn't been mayor that long. And I don't really recall anybody giving the previous police commissioner, who was white, this was years ago, any kind of grief. But here y'all come in the comment section talking about this man out here clapping cheeks when niggas is bleeding in the streets. I was like, that is such a Negro comment. So yeah, like, y'all won't let Mayor Brandon Scott live his life. I mean, it's not like he pulled a Kamala Harris and like disappeared once he got into office. Although y'all really tried to play him by putting up missing signs all throughout Baltimore City. But he's out here. He's out here. I think he's not even 30 years old. Kind of came out of nowhere. And y'all want to play in his face because he's having a baby. And it's like, let that man have a baby in peace. The baby's going to be named Charm. I don't know if he's having a boy or a girl. Could go either way with the name. But y'all are a trip. Y'all are really a trip out here trying to play these games. Moving right along. Jonah Hill situation. Now, I waited until the dust kind of settled to give my piece. I read it. I was like, ex-girlfriend, you are sharing this information with us because why? Why are you telling us this? Like, we have gotten to a point to where we're like really tacky and really corny. So, Jonah Hill's ex girlfriend, who is a surfer, decided to share with the rest of us private conversations that he was having with her in regards to his list, I guess, of boundaries. He called them boundaries. Um, Apparently, he too was like surfing and was hanging out with them while he was dating her. But stuff like, if you're going to, I guess, like continue to post bikini photos and hang out and entertain men with no boundaries and, you know, associated with something like that. Yeah, a little crazy, but he did say towards the end, if this is how it's going to be, clearly I'm not the partner for you. I wish you the best. Now, everybody went right past the part where she willingly put these messages in this conversation on blast to, I guess, out or expose Jonah Hill as some kind of, and she used the word abuse, abusive, emotional abuse, or something like that. This is what I've had to endure, yada, 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 yada. So, don't 100% agree with that. Like, the other thing that you guys do out here, these kids out here sprinkle these words to get some engagement and get some attention. Now, mind you, this is fresh off of the heels of the Keke Palmer situation, where she was dating and had a baby by a younger guy, went to the Usher concert, has been looking really good. He took the video clip, attached a tweet to it talking about you're a mom and all this other archaic old school rhetoric that takes us back to the days when women got to cover up, women should stay home more, women shouldn't be entertaining other men as a mom and all this other stuff. Mind you, word on the curb is she broke up with him before the concert. I don't know how soon. Honestly, couldn't have been soon enough. But here we are with this Jonah Hill situation where it's like, now that this is out, a lot of women are looking at him as somebody that's using his power to control and manipulate women based off of one conversation. Clearly, he's breaking up with you. And none of us out here in the street can speak to what he saw or what he witnessed. Boy, as a Sagittarius, he will tell you how he feels no matter how you take it. And she couldn't handle it. But the other thing that people are forgetting is that this ex-girlfriend waited until his current girlfriend slash fiance had their child to put him on blast. And I feel like, y'all are all up for respectability politics as long as it's not happening to y'all. Like, this is one of the situations, and I've said this on the podcast before, where people show their hand and show themselves to be who they really are. There were some people, a couple of women on some of the podcasts that were like, of the attitude and the mindset that because Jonah Hill's not attractive, he has a lot of audacity. And I'm just like, you sure you want to go that direction with it? Like, how dare he even be this way? And then they talked about the Netflix thing that he did with his therapist and how they can barely get through it. It's the whole like retroactive beef or retroactive anger. Like, now that you have this perception, you go backwards and say and view something different in the past. I'm like, I've never seen the documentary. And it's like whether or not you agree with it or regardless of your opinion, he broke up with her. Still wishing her the best, recognizing that he is not the partner for her. And she lost nothing. There was a discussion around the difference between boundaries and a demand. Now, in the messages, he said these are boundaries. Some of the women out in the streets were like, these come off more like demands because the expectation is you want to strip this girl of something that was already in place when you started dating her. And I'm like, like, pictures, okay. The dynamics with guys and girls who also surf, I think we should really have a conversation about that. Like, none of those things have anything, are not directly tied to who you are as a woman, right? And it's like, I read the stuff and it came off to me like Jonah, saw something he wasn't cool with or saw repeated disrespect either to him or his relationship. And just wasn't cool with it. Now, the the photo stuff, like her IG and the bikinis and everything, part of being at the beach is wearing that, and also being a female surfer. Like, you lost me there, brother. You lost me there. But it's funny. It's always funny to me, Mr. Foxy I Refuse podcast, how people add other stuff to it, add on to what they think to paint one person a particular way in favor of another person. And y'all really trip me out with that. Y'all really do. Again, not my business. That's rich white people shit. Very weird. Not surprised. And then on top of that, not too long after that, an actress came out saying that Jonah Hill, forced himself on her when she was 16 at a party. Very, very weird. But girl, why you wait now? And I'm like, y'all run the social media to solve y'all problems. Y'all need to be running to the police. Men ain't shit. I've been saying it on the I Refuse podcast for years. Men ain't shit. But every once in a while, women ain't shit either. Like, we've gotten to a point in society where we're very tacky, very corny, doing cornball shit. Because we can't reconcile and understand. And we're kind of bitter. And then we use words like abuse, abusive, narcissism, and it's like, you have this bandwagon of people who have their own individual experiences with other men and just add on. What's going on? What's going on? It's too hot. Air quality is shit. It's like Jesus is preheating us. It's upwards of 90 degrees outside. Y'all gotta find something else to do. That's all I'm saying. It's Mr. Foxy I Refuse podcast. I will catch you guys later. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Twitter at I Refuse Podcast. Follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also enjoy the 4 seasons of the I Refuse podcast that are on 8 streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Overcast, iHeart, and at least 2 or 3 other ones. We also have a blog at WordPress. All of this is accessible through the link that's in the IG profile at I Refuse Podcast _ between the words, and on the Twitter at I Refuse Podcast. That's all one word. We will catch you guys later. Bye.